looking to retire, and my husband and I, neither one of us had ever been to Mexico before, so I did some research and I learned a lot of information and came across the focus group. We decided to come down here for our anniversary, and it was wonderful. There was an even balance between education and learning all about the country, and then actually going out and being able to see what's here. The people, the brightly colored houses. It's absolutely wonderful. We knew by the fourth day that this is where we were going to be for the rest of our lives. And we've moved down here. We love our house. We love it here.
We came across Focus on Mexico on the internet, and a friend of ours recommended it. So we came down here to take it, and even though we had been to Mexico many times, we learned so much from the information that they provided us. And of course, we also fell in love with the place here, and we ended up buying finally. So,
which was crazy, because we emailed Christina and said, we are not buying here.
yes.
We're going to buy in the coast. We had looked for 15 years. We are not buying here.
Yes,
and
we were set on the
came,
coast. East or west, it was going to be the coast, because that's where the beautiful Mexico is.
And we're not going to buy interior, and so when we came, and we're not going to buy on this course. No way.
Yeah.
And not only did we come and fall in love with this place, we loved the 50s feel. It felt good for our family. We have 4 children, and now we have a grandchild. It's perfect, and I love the lake. I love there's a magic here.
There's magic here.
A couple years ago, my wife and I decided it was time for an adventure, and so my wife, being the online researcher that she is, did a lot of looking, found the Focus on Mexico website. We ended up coming down and ended up moving to Ajijic, and I can honestly say that for what it cost us to come to Focus on Mexico, we have got our money back many times over with the contacts and all the help we've had.
I suddenly realized this is a place I could live rather than exist. And when I saw the information about Focus on Mexico, my first thought was, never in 1,000 years would I spend that kind of money, because I didn't have that kind of money. But the more I looked at it, the more I realized, if you're going to make a decision about something this drastic in your life at the age of 71, you better know what you're doing. And I will say, number one, the food's been worth the money. But number 2, each day has been worth the whole amount. I have learned what I needed to know. I have learned what I didn't know I needed to know. And I would pay it all over again, to be honest with you. I found a family. That's what it turns out to be. And I'm moving down here to be near the rest of my family.
We enjoyed the focus program so much we came back to do the program all over again.
I came in January of '09. What I like about it is that I'm not a person who wants to dilly-dally around with my time. I want to be, like it says, focused. And I don't want to recreate the wheel. I want to go one place where I could get all my answers, which I did, and I moved here exactly 1 year to the date that I came here. I was here on January 10th of '09, and I moved here on January 10th of 2010, and I haven't regretted the decision one little bit. Come to Focus on Mexico.
About 5 years ago, my husband and I decided to come and find out for ourselves. We came to Focus on Mexico, which really gave us a true inside picture of the Focus on Mexico program, the classes, the things that they taught us here as far as living here, which was phenomenal. And I would highly recommend taking the time to do that. Not only that, the friendships that you will make here is wonderful.
If anybody is thinking of going to Mexico and to live there, there is no other way to do it than to go through a program like Focus on Mexico, simply because there are 100 things that you're never going to think of, and the only place to find the information en masse is in Focus on Mexico, and I believe that firmly. I would never have been able to do this.
Mark and I had been talking about coming to Mexico for some time, and I wasn't very enthusiastic about the idea. But once we heard about and then investigated Focus on Mexico, I had a lot of questions answered. I realized I was coming to a very beautiful country, very beautiful village, town, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am that we came. I would not want to live anywhere else, and I can thank Focus on Mexico for showing us the way here.
Well, to sum things up, without Focus on Mexico, I and my wife simply wouldn't be living here, because she made it very clear that she wasn't going to live in a so-called third world country. But Focus on Mexico showed us that this is quite different, and it's wonderful living here, thanks to the good folks at Focus on Mexico.
If you're interested in living in Lake Chapala, come on a Focus on Mexico educational program. We have experts to teach you about real estate, healthcare, insurance, cost of living, taxes, banking, immigration law, and more. By the end of the program, you'll have all the information necessary to decide if Mexico is for you or not. Is this something you want to be a part of? Is this your time?